Welcome to the weekly digest where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Labor, launched Occupational Safety and Health Month, emphasizing the importance of workplace health and safety. Some of the areas of focus included mining, construction, agriculture, and oil and gas.
I recognize that the need existed for the Ministry of Labor to establish offices and have occupational safety and health officers stationed in all 10 administrative regions, and more in particular, Region 1, 7, 8, and 9.
As government continues to promote the agriculture sector across the country, the Buxton Friendship Grantees Co-op Society received farming instruments to increase productivity.
I hope they will use it to the benefit of the farmers in the community by the group where they will use it. And I like this group is an active group. So on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, we'll continue to work and give you all the kind of input to help you in the community.
The Ministry of Home Affairs, in collaboration with the Guyana Police Force, convened a National Road Safety Stakeholders Forum to emphasize and reinforce the importance of road safety.
We have to have the consultation, the conversation, the gap with adult drivers. We have to deal with the route associations to the minibus persons and to promote routes associations, that they have to be self-regulating in the first instance amongst the public transportation providers, the minibus operators, and the taxi drivers, who are also errant in many ways. And we have to take stronger legislative action.
Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips commissioned a $625 million 1.5 megawatts solar PV farm in Dag Point, Region 7. This will significantly cut operational costs for the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated, while providing economic benefits to businesses and households.
It has a potential of increasing up to just under 2 megawatts. That's a tremendous growth in power for Bartica. It means that many of the areas that don't have electricity in Bartica and close by, we can now provide electricity for them. It means that many of the industries that people wanted to invest in and establish in Bartica and nearby, they can now do that because you have increased energy supply. So things are happening for you.
Students who have access to the Guyana Learning Channel have demonstrated superior performance when compared to those who do not have access. This is the position taken by Education Minister Priya Manikchan while attending the GLC's Whiz Kids finale.
Children who access the Learning Channel, the video content, the booster videos, look back at these programs, they will have an advantage over the children who do not. So I hope, and I figure I'm speaking to the converted in this room, but for the people who are looking on, I hope you switch gears quickly to make sure your children are accessing the learning and teaching that's happening on this channel.
The National Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts and Mathematics STEAM Fair returned after a 5-year hiatus.
We are focused on making sure every student has access across nursery, primary, and secondary. So we're looking to achieve universal access to education in this country. Universal means all over, all over Guyana, up every hill, on every mountaintop, in every valley, next to every riverbank, on the coastland, wherever you are.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony officially commissioned the Luzignan Diabetes Comprehensive Center on the east coast of Demerara, which will provide a holistic-oriented service in diabetes patient care. The center will also support laboratory testing for all health facilities on the East Coast corridor.
Now, we have a good team of doctors here. They're specialists in this field, and they'll be working with these patients. So we want to demonstrate over another year or so. We'll do an evaluation to see if this has been effective, if this is reducing the complications of diabetes, if this is delaying, in some cases, the onset of some of these complications. We want to assess all of that. And if we see what we envisage, that this is working, then this model is going to be replicated in other parts of our country.
Residents of Region 9 are set to benefit from some $20 million, which will be expended to develop the Bena Hill Institute in the region to equip persons with technical and vocational skill sets.
And I can assure you that not so long before now, you will have a full-fledged IT lab, IT center at the Bena Hill Institute to serve the people in Region 9. We will establish a full-fledged welding and fabrication center. We will establish a full-fledged joinery center at Bena Hill. And we will establish a culinary center that also will be utilized to do agro-processing.
Youths of Victory Valley in Linden Region 10 on Sunday last benefited from a youth empowerment workshop hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security.
We made a promise at that time that once completed, we are not going to just move away. We're going to keep coming and we're going to keep engaging with the residents and the youths in the community because we want to have a long-lasting partnership.
The Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, along with the Public Procurement Commission and the Small Business Bureau, hosted a procurement training exercise for proprietors of small businesses.
So we made a carve-out in the Small Business Act for small businesses to be able to get incentives, to be able to be afforded grants. There's even a loan guarantee program, all of it to help and support and bolster our small businesses.
15 months after the local content bill was enacted, Guyana hosted its first local content summit to discuss the progress made. Vice President Dr. Bart Jagdew said this was a timely forum that will keep the industry dynamic and vibrant.
It's important that if we want the local content and the building of Guyanese capacity to mean something and to grow in the future years, we have to keep the industry dynamic and vibrant very long into the future so that these industries can develop, the local industries can develop capacity at scale in a sustained manner. And they can also have, be able to amortize the major investments that they are making now as a consequence of the Local Content Act.
The Ministry of Housing and Water's Central Housing and Planning Authority allocated approximately 1,500 house lots in the Lusignan and Good Hope areas in Region 4. Minister Colin Crowell, in his remarks to the hundreds of persons gathered at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, noted that there is a tremendous amount of work being done across the country to develop the housing sector. Currently, it costs about $4 million to develop a house lot for allocation, with most of this cost subsidized.
For persons who are pending applicants, and you know that you will be called at some time or the other, then your work to start putting aside, you don't have to do this in a grand way, but you can put aside a little in a programmed way so that by the time you're called for your allocation, you will have a fair bit or all of your resources that are required to pay for your land.
This brings us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.